What is up, dudes and lady dudes? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, we've got another volley of Eternity Code cards. And actually, this one's interesting because we've been getting sprinkles for a while. And by sprinkles, I mean, like, they've just been giving, like, 1 or 2 cards a day. But today, we actually got, like, 6. What? How many is it? Yeah, 6. 6 cards dropped at once. We got a card I didn't go over because I didn't think it was enough to make a whole video about by itself that we'll go over, and also a new V-Jump promo for the OCG that we don't know when we'll get it imported, but we'll know it's there and we'll get it at some point. But it's an interesting card. So let's start on off with the Codebreaker 0 Day. There's a level 4 Dark Warrior effect monster with 1800 attack and 0 defense, and has 3 different effects. The first effect is a link monster that is linked with this card, except a Codebreaker link monster, loses 1000 attack. If a Codebreaker link monster is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is already in the monster zone, destroy this card. And third, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add a Codebreaker 0 Day from your deck to your hand. So kind of a lot going on there. I think this is actually like a decent card. You know, like if a Codebreaker link monster is destroyed, you just get to pop this card and then he searches you another one. So he does just replace himself super easy. He weakens a Codebreaker monster that your opponent, or not an opponent controls, but the monster that you would make with him that's not a Codebreaker by 1000. And you'll see that comes up in a little bit. So it doesn't really make a ton of sense right now just looking at it, but it will once we read into some other stuff. There. Next, we've got Salamangreat Zebroid X. It's a weird name, but I like its design as far as the Salamangreats go. I think it's a pretty cool design. And moving on. So, level 4 Fire Cyber's effect monster, 1500 attack, 1000 defense. You can only use this first effect once per turn. That effect says if a Salamangreat link monster you control leaves the field due to an opponent's card effect, and this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon 2 level 4 Salamangreat monsters from your graveyard, including this card, and if you do immediately after this effect resolves, Xyz summon a Salamangreat Xyz using these 2 monsters only. And its second effect is a monster Xyz summoned using this card on the field gains 300 attack times its materials. So on summon it will get a 600 boost, which is nice. It's nothing crazy, but it's nice. This card's really, it's just okay. I think it's so reactive and it's just, I don't know. I think a lot of people like that most of the stuff you're putting in grave for the Salamangreat stuff is proactive. You get to trigger it on your turn when you want to, whereas this needs to wait for your opponent to try and remove one of your Salamangreat links with a card effect specifically. And then not only that, but it special summons 2 level 4 Salamangreats, not just any 2 Salamangreats, where you could possibly make like a Stalio on the quick effect. That's not what you can do. You have to make the rank 4. That's one that we don't even have yet in the TCG, so this might be a hint at that we'll get it by this point. And I remember that card not even being that impressive. It was okay, if I remember correctly, but nothing crazy. And so I just think this card is just too reactive, too underwhelming, because the Xyz monster, you're like too streamlined into like what you have to do. You can't be creative with like a rank 4 you might want to make. You have to make the Salamangreat one. And so I think it'll miss out. It's cool for if you want to build an anime style Salamangreat deck, but nothing much more than that. Next up here we have marincess Basilalima. Okay. Level 4 Water Cyber's effect monster, 600 attack, 2100 defense, big old booty. You can activate the first and third effects of this card's name once per turn. The first effect says you can banish 1 marincess trap from your grave to add a marincess trap with a different name from your deck to your hand. Okay, that's a nice little search. There. Second effect says if a monster or monsters you control would be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Again, nice little protection. I mean, really, that's like, it's just card effect, it's not battle. Still, it could definitely come up. It's a nice little protection. And third, if this card is banished, you can target 1 face-up monster you control. It gains 600 attack permanently. Again, nothing crazy, but a nice little effect there. Really what I'm worried about is the first effect. That's the main thing. And while it's interesting because marincess Wave is pretty cool, that's the only marincess trap that is any kind of worthwhile at the moment. So until we get more marincess traps that are actually worth it, I don't really see this effect being too good because you have to search a different name. So there's that, and also like you're not really putting a trap card in the graveyard turn 1 most of the time, so this is a slower effect. It's an okay card, and I could see it being better should 1 or 2 more good trap cards, you know, come into the game, and it could be a playable one-of that's like searchable and stuff, and if you can get it out, like, you're good. But I think for right now, it's not really doing too much for marincess. Next up, we got Codebreaker Virus Berserker. I don't even really want to spend too much time on this because I already made a video about him, but pretty much he's a link 3. He takes any monsters plus a Codebreaker. When he's special summoned and he's co-linked, you can special summon 2 Codebreaker monsters from your hand or graveyard to a zone a link monster on either side of the field. Wait, to a zone a link monster points to on either side of the field. So what you can do with this, theoretically, is summon something to your opponent's field and also your field. And just kind of go. I don't really know why you'd want to summon to your opponent's field, though. I mean, that's definitely a thing. I don't know. It's weird. It's interesting. And then also during your main phase, you can destroy spell and traps your opponent controls up to the number of co-linked Codebreakers your opponent controls. So you're trying to, like, summon him, summon the other link that points up so that they're co-linked. They have 1 co-linked Codebreaker, and you can then pop a spell trap they control. I don't know. It's fine. It's just, I don't know. The Codebreakers don't really do a ton. Speaking of Codebreakers, got the last Codebreaker card here, which is Virus Swordsman. Cool design. I like their designs. They just aren't that good, in my opinion. He's a Link 2 Dark Warrior Link effect monster with 2,300 attacks. He's actually pretty beefy for a Link 2. He has up and down arrows, and his materials are any 2 effect monsters. So, at very worst, this is just a generic, pretty generic Link 2 that's 23. That's like as big as you're going to get with a Link 2 like that. That's that generic. You can only use his first and second effects once per turn each. First effect, when this card is special summoned and it's co-linked, you can special summon a Codebreaker 0 day from your hand, deck, or graveyard to a zone and link monster points to on either side of the field. That's actually pretty nice, but the thing is, it's got to be co-linked. It's got to be co-linked. How are you summoning this that's co-linked? Like, super easy. I guess that's possible, but it's not the easiest thing in the world. But okay. And then the second effect, during the end phase, if this card in its owner's possession was destroyed by an opponent's card and sent to the graveyard, you could special summon this card but banish it if it leaves the field. That's a nice little float. I mean, if they have to out you by destruction, you are just going to get him back for free. Not bad. I think this card's actually the best of the 3. I think 0 Day is actually an interesting card too, but he's not insane. I just think they're both kind of okay, right? But he's nice that he's generic. Next up, we've got Link Burst, a normal spell card. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name once per turn. Its effect says, target 1 Link monster you control and 1 monster your opponent controls, destroy them, then draw 1 card. That's not bad. I mean, like, I don't know, looking at stuff like Virus Swordsman, like, you destroy him and an opponent's monster, draw a card, and then on the end phase, this guy's going to special summon himself back anyway. Like, that's okay. There's a lot of cards out there. I mean, it's Link specifically, so that's where it gets tough, is that it's a Link. Link stuff, only a Link monster specifically, you got to pop on your own side of the field. So that becomes tough there. So I think it's whatever. I don't think it'll be searchable, so it's like pretty mediocre unless it's like a very specific Link deck that comes out that really loves to float. We'll have to see. But that's pretty much it for all the new anime cards. I got some other cards here. I want to look at MADOLCHE Promenade, a new MADOLCHE trap that came out. This card came out a couple days ago, but I didn't think it was worth making an unknown video about. But it is nice. It is a solid card for MADOLCHEs. I will say that. So, we got MADOLCHE Promenade. This is a normal trap card, and this card, you can only use one of this card's effects once per turn and only once that turn. So you got to pick one, and you can only use that once. First effect, target 1 face-up card your opponent controls and 1 MADOLCHE monster on your field or in your graveyard. Negate the effects of the first target for the rest of the turn, and if you do, return the second target to the hand. Woo. And the second effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a MADOLCHE XZs you control and attach a MADOLCHE from hand, deck, or graveyard to that monster as material. Just nice. I mean, like, really, the first effect is really solid, and one of the things that MADOLCHEs have been lacking for a while is turn 1 plays. And the new XZ is, like, better for it because it is like a DD Crow, essentially. A walking DD Crow, which is nice, especially in this meta, but it's not enough by itself. And I think that's like a big thing. I think that's definitely like a huge thing that'll come up is that you can't just do that. And I've got a fucking pop-up. Lame. Anyway. And so with this, you actually get a legit first turn play where you can set up a legit disruption with maybe the other rank 4 that MADOLCHE's play. So you've got a DD Crow plus this, which is a negate any face-up card. Keep in mind this works like Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss, where if your opponent activates a spell or a trap, it's face up right there in the chain, so you can chain this to negate that card, and those cards would wither. So a lot of versatility in what you can negate. It also gives you a follow-up play if you end up leaving a MADOLCHE monster in grave, which is nice. And yeah, it's really solid. And then also getting just extra material off of this can be good as well for if you maybe were using Glass Souffle, the one that is like the DD Crow, or if you need extra materials for tiramisu or anything. It's just solid. Or chocolate a la mode as well. So that's really good. I think it's a good card. I think you just probably played it one because it's pretty searchable for the deck. So going first, like you have something, or in like a mid-range game, if you weren't able to kill going second and you had a free search, maybe you're just like, I ripped most of their board apart. How about I get this so that I can stop like a follow-up play? Pretty good, I think, right? So just a 1 of, maybe a 2 of, and it's just solid. There, and then the last card we have here today is our V-Jump promo for the OCG. We don't do V-Jump promos anymore in the TCG, so this will get imported into set at some point. But it's interesting because, Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization is likening it to Lone Fire Blossom, and that's one of the best cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! I'd say. So today we have Armored Bitron, a Dark Cybers effect monster with level 2, 500 attack, 0 defense, and 2 hard once return effects. First effect, you contribute this card as cost to special summon a Cybers monster from your deck, except for itself, but its effects are negated. Also, for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon monsters except for Cybers. It's pretty Lone Fire Blossom-y with some restrictions. And the second effect is if a Link 3 or higher Link monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, and this card is in the graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it if it leaves the field. It's a nice follow-up effect, really. But the first effect is mainly what you're looking at, and I'm not sure. I mean, I feel like it's going to take a very specific set of stuff. Like, I don't know, at least like this can go like right into a Flame Buffalo, then you can link up the Flame Buffalo and it triggers Engrave. Like, that's pretty decent, right? The other thing is that, like, we all know that Lone Fire Blossom is super punishable. Like, literally just going normal Lone Fire Blossom, tribute itself, Ash. You wasted your normal summon and you have nothing on board. Same thing with this guy. You could get hit on the tribute and you could be left with nothing. And so it's pretty high risk, high reward. It's a nice little consistency card, but it'd take a very specific, I think, like Cybers deck to really make this quite worth it, because negating the effects and you're locked into Cybers, really the effects is the one that kills it. So you can't just go like into Gazelle. This can't just be a consistency piece and Sally's to get them into Gazelle easier there. So I think this card, I don't know, I think could have potential in the right deck as a consistency piece, but I don't see it here. I don't see it, making it this way. But, let me know. Let me know if you have any ideas on how this might work in a better in a situation now, if I'm missing something. And then let me know if you're excited for any of these anime cards, if I'm missing anything on how good they can be, but I really am not too excited about anything there. I think the MADOLCHE card's like the best card out of all of these, which is funny. So we're still waiting for a good amount of cards from the rest of Eternity Code, and we'll find those out probably sooner rather than later, considering the set is going to drop in 4 days in the OCG. So I'm guessing tomorrow or the day after we'll find out almost every card in the set. And until then, guys, I will see you there. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. I got a lot of news videos coming. I got a lot of deck profiles in the works. It's just, it feels weird to make deck profiles prior to Master Rules 5 when like things are just going to change. Like I'm going to make a deck profile and then so many things are going to change and my deck profile is going to be immediately like irrelevant and things are going to change. So maybe I should just make one for now, make one for then, whatever. I don't know. It just feels like not worth it on some level. But I don't know. Whatever. Sorry. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.